I'm Tony. He's Mike. We are here to do a quick and dirty on a user-recommended film to us, RoboGeisha. Who was it that recommended this one to us?
I don't remember. And it's probably good that we don't remember because I can't call him out on this one. But then again, we don't know the intent of the recommendation. You know, it's like, hey, here's a shitty movie you should watch. Where they maybe you'll enjoy it, or maybe you'll get be angry like we are. Spoilers.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. That's exactly sums it up. And don't get me wrong. I love trash cinema. Mm-hmm. There are plenty of anime-esque inspired Japanese films that I love. Yeah. Calamari Wrestler is a favorite, and it's absolutely every bit as fucking ridiculous as it sounds. If you like wrestling and you like calamari, this is your jam. But RoboGeisha was a letdown. It was not. Sorry. Here's the problem with it. It suffered from massive pacing issues.
Oh, yes.
Comedy works in speed, okay? You set up your joke, you hit your joke hard, and then you give the audience time to laugh, and then you move on to the next one.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
This one had really bad sense of timing as far as its humor went, and then the jokes went on way too long. I mean, it was like they were trying to drag it out and drag it out and drag it out, and it kind of killed the film. And it's not that it wasn't a clever idea. It's not even that it wasn't, it couldn't, potentially be really funny. It just wasn't. It just didn't land for me.
Yeah. For me, it promised outrageousness at the very beginning, but didn't deliver. You got like 5-10 minutes at the beginning where it's like this outrageous concept come to life. And then it changes to a story of two siblings and how competitive they are against each other. And it doesn't really pick up any speed again until the last act.
Oh, don't forget the evil businessmen who have their entire army of RoboGeishas. And then the whole thing with the families that their daughters have been kidnapped, and it turns out that they are the women that have been turned into, the RoboGeisha assassin squad, whatever. It's got the beats. It's got the outrageous concept behind it. It's just not done very well.
But they didn't stick with it. It's like they deliver outrageousness at the beginning, outrageousness at the end, but in the middle is nothing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There's nothing.
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. It is like a despair, destroying this world.
And see, this is like one of those movies, like, it's Asylum films. If you're not familiar with Asylum films, the Sharknado movies are Asylum films.
Just can't sit back and watch this.
And the Sharktopus versus Megalodon.
When I found Sharktopus, I knew this is my chance to do real science.
And all those bad movies. That's made by a film company called Asylum, and I'm not a fan of the Asylum films because they set out to intentionally make bad movies, and that's how this movie feels. They set out to make an intentionally cheesy, cheap,
And hey, just since we're on that, this is written and directed by, I'm going to butcher these names because I don't speak Japanese, Noboru Iguchi, and the effects were directed by Tishio Kazumo and Yoshiharu Nishimura.
Okay.
And they did 3 movies, so this is the 3rd one. They also did The Machine Girl, and Tokyo Gore Police.
Okay.
So
well,
they've done a string of these. I haven't seen the other two. I'm assuming you haven't either.
Actually, the first one, it sounds familiar to me. If I haven't seen it, I've probably seen at least a trailer for it. But again, this kind of movie is it's not my jam. And there are the exceptions to the rule. Again, I mentioned Calamari Wrestler, and I own that one on Blu-ray, believe it or not. But or DVD. I don't know if it was ever released on Blu-ray. But I like it. As weird as this sounds, I like it when a movie maker tries to make a sincere attempt and either fails because he doesn't have the budget or the ability or the understanding, like Bruno Mattei.
Bring me to Jakarta!
Right.
But that being said, they set out to this is exactly the movie they intended to make. You can tell, and it is cheesy, and it does have some fun moments. It does have some interesting moments, but it's not something I'm going to watch again. And for me, it doesn't work. But I will also say this: if you have the right crowd and they are into this kind of film, I can see where this would be someone's jam, just like I can see where Sharknado would most definitely be somebody's, bad film of choice. And I've seen a lot of the Asylum films. I've seen Lavalantula and Ghost Shark and a five-headed shark, three-headed shark.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a whole string of movies about sharks with increasing numbers of heads. I've seen several of them. I have yet to actually see one that I really thought was endearing or charming. This falls into that category for me. So, what are your thoughts? I feel like I've monopolized this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, if by the box in your intro, you say you're going to deliver X, but you give me Y, and like, no. I mean, if you're going to have like crazy Japanese ladies squirting, acid out of their tits, and then having, Chinese stars come in their assholes. And shit like that, and it ain't no big deal. Then you better deliver that through the whole fucking movie. Like, it just should be just batshit crazy from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
Don't give me some lovey-dovey sister fucking bullshit.
Yes, this
Fuck
rivalry
you.
that turns into them actually reconciling and becoming a team that fight together for good. Yeah.
Or if you're going to do that, still carry on with the absolute batshit absurdities of the whole thing. Don't change tones. In the beginning we have this tone, but then in the middle we're going to have this tone. At the end we're going to have a mixture of both at the end.
I can forgive all of that. My biggest problem is, and you pointed this out, you're kind of on the right track on this one as far as my mind goes. If you're going to start off outrageous, you better make sure that you're escalating the outrageousness throughout the entire movie, because otherwise it's going to get boring. If your best scene is in the first 10 minutes, you need to rewrite your shit so that best scene is in the last 10 minutes, because that's how this feels. This feels like the best stuff about this film. It's like when she's being trained, when she's being trained and she's being recruited to be the guy, all that stuff, that was fun and charming, and I thought, I was really in for something, but then it just drags through the middle so bad. And then the ending, it comes back up again, but it's nowhere near as fun or charming as the last parts of the film.
And the part of it that lets it down,
of
too, is that last sequence is the awful CGI and stuff like that, which I could get past if it's going somewhere. I should say going somewhere, but if there's like some type of payoff to it. But it's just really bad and awful. Yeah. And it didn't work.
I actually think that this would have been better if they'd gone the old Toho Godzilla route and gotten like the big monster costumes.
Well, it's kind of what they did at the end. No, I think this would have been better if it was an actual anime as opposed to live action.
You're probably not wrong. This probably would work really well as a cartoon.
Because that's what I was thinking the whole entire time. Like, this would be much better if it was an anime. Because then you could look past a lot of stuff on there, a lot past the lousy CGI and some of the questionable acting and stuff like that. And you could then do more.
Bad artwork is more forgivable than bad special effects. So.
All day long. So that's all I got.
I'm with him. Thank you for the recommendation. We appreciate it. Please recommend more. We will watch them.
Just know that sometimes we're not going to like them.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're going to be honest. So, that's all I got.
All right. See you next time.
RoboGeishaのセリフ全員が必殺ゲイシャは